Carl was a man who had become well acquainted with the inside of hospital waiting rooms. His life had devolved into a seemingly endless cycle of doctor visits, prescriptions, and medical advice. If there were a loyalty program for frequent hospital visits, Carl would have earned platinum status. But despite his best efforts, every doctor's visit felt like a new chapter in a book that wasn't getting any better. It all started with a simple, if annoying, symptom, a persistent cough. Carl, being the responsible adult he was, went to see his primary care physician. "It's probably just a virus," the doctor assured him, handing him a prescription and a pamphlet on cough drops. But the cough didn't go away. In fact, it seemed to get worse. So Carl saw a specialist. The specialist suggested a battery of tests. After the tests, the results were inconclusive, but Carl was given more prescriptions. Each new pill seemed to come with its own set of side effects, which ironically included more coughing. Next up was a visit to a different specialist. This one was enthusiastic about a new, experimental treatment. "It's revolutionary," the specialist said. "It'll cure what ails you." Carl was all in, even if the treatment sounded like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. Weeks went by, and Carl's health seemed to be on a constant downward spiral. He wasn't getting better, he was getting more dependent on an ever-expanding arsenal of medications. It was as if the medical system was a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and he was always left standing. One evening, after another round of test results that led to more uncertainty and a new prescription for something with a name too long to pronounce, Carl sat in his car, feeling utterly defeated. "I'm turning into a medical guinea pig," he muttered to himself. "I need to stop this madness." In a moment of clarity, or perhaps sheer desperation, Carl decided to seek out the monk, a figure he'd heard about who was supposedly an expert in solving life's convoluted problems with wisdom and a touch of humor. Maybe he can help, Carl thought. Or at least he'll know how to deal with a cough. He found the monk meditating under his favorite tree, looking as serene as a cucumber in a Zen garden. Carl approached him with a sigh of relief. "Monk, I've been chasing after doctors and medicines for months now, and I feel like I'm getting worse, not better. What am I doing wrong?" The monk opened one eye, peeking at Carl with a look of mild amusement. "Ah, Carl. Welcome. You seem like someone who's been on quite a journey. But tell me, how did you find your way here?" Carl sat down next to the monk. "I'm exhausted. I've seen so many doctors, I'm practically on a first-name basis with the receptionist at the hospital. I thought that if I just followed the medical advice, I'd get better. Instead, I'm sicker, more tired, and my medicine cabinet looks like a small pharmacy." The monk chuckled. "It sounds like you're on a treadmill of medical advice. The harder you run, the more exhausted you get, and you're not really getting anywhere." Carl nodded vigorously. "Exactly. It's like I'm running in place, only the treadmill is made of pills and appointments." The monk smiled. "Well, Carl, let me tell you a story. Imagine a hamster on a wheel. The hamster runs and runs, but it's not really going anywhere. It's just spinning in circles. Sometimes, the best way to get off the wheel is to simply stop running." Carl frowned. "Stop running? But if I stop, what about my treatment?" The monk leaned in, lowering his voice as if sharing a big secret. Think of your health as a garden. If you're constantly digging, watering, and planting new seeds without letting the soil rest, you'll end up with a mess. Sometimes you need to step back and let things settle. Overdoing it doesn't always help. Carl looked thoughtful. So, are you saying I should stop all my treatments? The monk shook his head with a grin. No. I'm not saying you should throw away your medicines. But maybe you need to take a break from the relentless pursuit of cures and focus on the simple things, like breathing, relaxing, and enjoying a moment without the stress of getting better. Carl's eyes widened. You mean, I should relax? Yes, the monk exclaimed. Relax, and find joy in the small things. Maybe take up a hobby that doesn't involve medical jargon. Paint, dance, or even just enjoy a good book without any side effects. Sometimes, letting go of the constant pressure to get better can actually help you feel better. Carl looked at the monk, bewildered yet hopeful. But how do I balance this with my medical needs? The monk shrugged. Balance is key. Just as you wouldn't run a marathon every day, you shouldn't obsess over every detail of your health. Trust your doctors, follow their advice, but also trust yourself to find moments of peace and joy. That's where true healing begins. Carl took a deep breath, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. You know, monk, I've been so focused on getting better that I forgot how to actually live. Maybe I do need to take a step back. The monk smiled warmly. Exactly. Healing is not just about the physical, it's about the mental and emotional as well. And sometimes, laughter, relaxation, and a good joke can be just as powerful as any medicine. Carl laughed, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. You know, I haven't laughed like this in ages. Maybe there's something to this whole enjoying life thing after all. As Carl left the monk's presence, he felt a newfound sense of calm. He wasn't abandoning his medical journey, but he was approaching it with a lighter heart. And in that, he found a bit of healing that no pill could provide. The monk watched Carl walk away, a twinkle in his eye. He knew that healing was a complex dance of mind, body, and spirit. Sometimes, it wasn't about fixing everything with a miracle cure, but about finding joy in the journey. After all, even the most enlightened soul couldn't escape the occasional bout of the hiccups, though at least those hiccups came with a side of wisdom and a good laugh.
Please subscribe to our channel and visit our playlist for more stories. This story comes from the book, The Serene Monk, Tales of Wisdom, Worry, and Wry Smiles, by the Primate Philosopher, Nick. For more inspiring stories, you can find the full book on Amazon. The link is in the description. Happy reading!